Is selecting the best stocks for your M1 finance pie more complicated than it looks? It can definitely feel overwhelming when you're looking at thousands of stocks and ETFs, trying to figure out what percentages to assign where. But here's the reality: M1 Finance's power isn't necessarily about picking 5 hot stocks. It's about long-term, strategic asset allocation that you automate. From my own experience using the platform, the best approach is to stop thinking of your M1 pie as a place for speculative stock picking and start seeing it as a beautifully automated, diversified portfolio. The best stocks are actually often low-cost exchange-traded funds, ETFs. They instantly give you broad diversification, which is exactly what a passive, long-term platform like M1 is built for. Moneybag Core Portfolio, the foundation. When I first set up my pie, I started with a core that covered the entire market. This is the bulk of the money, the set it and forget it part. I used a simple 3-fund portfolio approach as my main pie. U.S. Total Stock Market ETF, this is your exposure to the overall American economy. Think VTI or ITOT. I allocated a big percentage here, like 50 to 60%. This slice is your broad market engine. International Total Stock Market ETF, it's crucial not to ignore the rest of the world. VXUS is a great, low-cost option. I dedicated 30 to 40% to this slice. Total Bond Market ETF, for stability and a buffer against market crashes, I included a bond component, BND or AGG. This is usually the smallest slice, maybe 5 to 15%, depending on your age and risk tolerance. As I get older, I plan to increase this. This core structure ensures that every dollar I deposit automatically buys a globally diversified mix. The M1 system keeps it balanced, so if U.S. stocks perform well and become an overweight percentage, my next deposits flow more heavily into the underweight international or bond ETFs. No manual work required. Chart increasing satellite slices, adding a tilt. Once the core is stable, you can create smaller satellite slices to add a specific tilt to your portfolio. This is where individual stocks or sector-specific ETFs can be added, but I keep them as a small overall percentage, like 5 to 15% of the total pie. My satellite slices focus on 2 main areas. Growth/tech exposure. I use an ETF that focuses on the NASDAQ 100, like QQQM, or an aggressive growth ETF to tilt slightly more towards technology than a total market fund naturally would. This adds a little bit of extra potential growth, but I cap its size to limit my concentration risk. Dividend income. For a little passive income boost, I have a slice dedicated to a dividend appreciation ETF, SCHD or VYM. These hold companies with a history of consistently increasing their dividend payments. This isn't my main growth driver, but it provides a nice income stream that is automatically reinvested back into my pie. Direct hit key takeaways for stock selection. If you must choose individual stocks for your M1 pie, here's what I've learned. Choose conviction, not fads. Only pick a stock, like AAPL, MSFT, or Google, if you truly believe it will outperform the market for the next 5 to 10 years. Remember, if it's a huge company, it's probably already heavily represented in your total stock market ETF. Keep it simple. Limit individual stocks to just a few that you've done deep research on. The more stocks you add, the more your performance will just mirror the market anyway, defeating the purpose of stock picking. Prioritize low expense ratios. When using ETFs, always look for the lowest expense ratio possible, like 0.03% to 0.15%. M1 is all about long-term savings, and high expense ratios erode those returns. Ultimately, the best stocks to put in your M1 finance pies are the ones that align with your long-term goal, your risk tolerance, and the powerful automation of the M1 platform itself. Start broad, add small tilts if you want, and let the automatic rebalancing do the hard work for you. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.